The U.S. stock market is pushing back to all-time high and looking to break out. All the while, real United States GDP growth has seen the largest downturn in the history of the country, negative 33% in one quarter. All the while with very good news flowing in for Bitcoin, and we're seeing downright bone-chilling news for the United States economy. You have to wonder, what happens to Bitcoin next? Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we have some very important things to talk about because as you guys know, the global economy is in dire straits right now, and economists are saying that we are already in a recession and it's going to get significantly worse. But while that has been going on, Bitcoin has been looking more bullish than ever. In this video, we're going to be discussing the United States stock market, the US GDP growth, global economic forecast, outlook, predictions, and models, and we're going to be talking about where Bitcoin is likely to be heading in response to all of that. Guys, I think there's some very good news on the table right now, and I think you're going to get a lot of good value out of this video. So if you do, as always, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. But without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Real quarterly GDP growth for the United States economy. One of the most frequently cited metrics for the overall general health of an economy, the GDP, the gross domestic product of a country. I've never heard an economist define it this way, and maybe an economist would disagree with me, but I personally define GDP as the rapidity with which money is transferred within an economy. How quickly is that money being circulated? It doesn't have to do with how much money there is. It has to do with how quickly it's being circulated and moved around from person to person, from business to business, from hand to hand. So when we're looking at a real GDP drop of 33%, an order of magnitude worse than we have ever seen in the United States economy, we come to realize that essentially what we're looking at here is a slowing down of the transfer of money from person to person and business to business in this country and worldwide. Most countries are reflecting statistics exactly like this. Now, before we go any farther, are we going to bounce back? Yes. Is this recession going to end? Yes. Is everything going to be okay? Double yes. We're all going to be fine. But in the short term, this has major implications for the Bitcoin market. Namely, with Bitcoin moving into a consolidation pattern and looking to break bullish, all the while watching gold rally to a new all-time high, breaking the previous one set nearly a decade ago. You understand the significance of what's going on right now. People love to tout the idea that gold, commodities, precious metals, things that cannot have their supplies manipulated in the same way that the United States dollar can, they typically do very, very well in recessions, specifically immediately after a recession. So why then is gold and Bitcoin rallying now and not later? Because as you can see, during the 2008 financial crisis, gold dropped 35% during the crisis. It didn't rally during the crisis, it crashed. So why is gold hitting a new all-time high right now? And what on earth is Bitcoin doing? Well, friends, there's something you have to understand about the market that we are in right now. We have never seen this kind of recession. We have never seen this kind of catastrophic event. A wise man once said that you have a minor catastrophe every 10 years in the United States and a major catastrophe every 20 years in the United States. The last major catastrophe being 9/11. Now we have the news virus. Quite simply put, the first reason why we're seeing a discrepancy in this market is because we have never seen this kind of market before. But one thing is absolutely certain. We have never seen the same terror in the general public regarding the national currency that we do today. During the 2008 financial crisis, the Federal Reserve was going through rounds of quantitative easing, but they did not print $6 trillion out of thin air that we're going to have to pay back and borrow from the future economic outlook and growth of the country. People are seeing that the United States is being hit very hard by this, while China is making a lot of money selling masks because they've already dealt with the news virus over there. They're seeing the inflated stock market based on Fortune 500 companies that have a lot of savings and are dipping into PPP loans when they shouldn't be doing very well, but watching all of the little guys go out of business. That's a trend we've been watching for 100 years, and it's coming to a climax now. People are starting to realize that there's a new economy forming, and I could go into a lot of detail on that, but I don't have time to in today's video. But needless to say, the market is changing, and it's never going to be quite the same. A lot of people have been talking about when we go back to normal, but in the same way that things never just went back to normal after 9/11, things will never just go back to normal after what we're going through right now. TSA didn't exist before. Normal for an airport in 1999 was without TSA. Things never went back to normal, and things never will here. Does that mean they're not going to improve? No. Of course, things are going to get a lot better, but maybe not first. Because you see, this right here is something that is very, very, very concerning. The stock market rallying back to all-time high during the largest economic turndowns in at least the last quarter millennia. When you're studying recessions, you'll find two things. Number one, different sectors and industries move at different paces. For example, the real estate market is much, much, much more lagging than something like the stock market, the forex markets, the precious metal markets, the commodities markets. Those are much more rapidly responding. Things that are more intrinsic and also at the same time normally quite a lot larger, the real estate market and the derivatives market being the two largest markets on the planet, those things move a lot slower. So number one point about recessions is that different parts of the market move at different paces. Remember back to 2017, Bitcoin hit all-time high December 17th, 2017. Ethereum hit all-time high at like January 14th. It happened a full month later. Different sectors of the market move at different paces. Number two, you will also see that many economists say that a recession, when it starts, can take between 2 to 24 months to reach its absolute worst. That's what happened in 2008. It took a very long time for the market to actually hit rock bottom. And you might be thinking, Jeb, but we've already hit rock bottom. The stock market plunged 45%. What are you saying? Are we going to pull back again? When you look into it, there's reason to believe yes. And I'm tying this all back to Bitcoin, so bear with me. You see, it might seem nice that we're all getting stimulus checks right now. It might seem nice that our businesses are getting Paycheck Protection Program loans to make sure that we don't, go bankrupt. But there's a very big problem here. And that is that you can't print money forever. Before this whole thing started, the United States was already in over $22 trillion with a T dollars worth of debt. With the new printing of $6 trillion worth of quantitative easing in just the last 5 months, and the fact that there's not necessarily an end in sight for all of this, we don't know if the first vaccines are actually going to come out and put an end to this. We have some very uncertain economic waters. So why is the stock market rallying during uncertainty? That makes absolutely no sense. Am I crying manipulation? No. But this is what I'm saying. The stock market is in a bubble right now, in the same way that real estate was in a bubble in 2008 and student loan debts are in a bubble right now. We are seeing a massive increase in the value of the stock market by tens of trillions of dollars with zero growth in the underlying value of those companies as far as their profits, as far as how many employees they have, as far as their growth projections, as far as how much money they have in capital, as far as the value of their real estate, which is going to take a hit pretty soon. When you see a market rally and 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 no fundamentals to back that up, you are in a bubble and it will come down. That's exactly what happened in 2017 with Bitcoin. We rallied to $20,000 and we did not have the fundamentals. We did not have the adoption to support it. And what happened? We crashed 70% in 2 months. Now, the stock market has a lot more people trying to hold it up. In a way, it's institutionalized manipulation to keep the stock market healthy, which is perfectly fine if it's done right. But what it does mean is that the stock market is inflated. Very much inflated. People are looking at the stock market hitting all-time high, and the people that know what they're talking about are wondering, what in the hell is going on? This is not healthy. And the people that don't know what's going on are looking and getting a false sense of hope, thinking this whole thing's coming to an end. The recession that we're moving into, guys, has barely started. So where then does this leave Bitcoin? Well, guys, there's a very big difference between Bitcoin rallying right now and the stock market rallying right now. You see, the SPY is rallying back to all-time high based on poor fundamentals. The stock market should not be performing as well as it is. The only reason that it is because many of the Fortune 500 companies that the S&P actually covers have billions and billions and collectively trillions of dollars worth of assets and savings that they can draw on to stop themselves from going bankrupt, and they're also using different departments of their company to get access to the Paycheck Protection Program, and they have business overseas. What this metric right here is not showing you are all of the smaller companies, $1 billion in revenue and lower, that are getting crushed right now. Bitcoin, on the other hand, does not have the foundation of sand in its fundamentals that the S&P and the rest of our stock market does right now. And while the stock market is not necessarily an indicator of economic outlook, it is most certainly an indicator of the health of the actual corporate environment of our economy, which is the entire foundation of our economy. And that foundation, guys, is not looking very healthy, but on Bitcoin, it very much is. We have seen fundamentals on Bitcoin improve day over day over day. Every single day, we're getting new big news stories. Everything from the comptroller of the currency to Visa and MasterCard. We're talking about TD Ameritrade stepping into Bitcoin. We're talking about Bybit and all of these other exchanges, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, all of these exchanges exploding in their revenue figures. We're seeing billionaires and people in power and positions of authority praising Bitcoin. We're seeing major companies buying $250 million worth of Bitcoin in a vote of confidence. We are seeing huge huge bullish fundamental developments happening on Bitcoin on the backdrop of economic pandemonium on the global stage. So what does Bitcoin do from here? Where do we go? Guys, I've already said where we're going. I've already told you. We're going back to all-time high, and we're going a lot farther. And why? Because this time, at least so far, we are not in a bubble. Bitcoin is not overextended. Bitcoin is not sitting on a foundation of sand. Bitcoin is not sitting on a foundation of salt, or however you want to say it. Bitcoin is sitting on a solid, strong foundation. We have had a halving. We've had the block rewarding decreased. We have seen so many power players moving into the cryptocurrency space. We're going to see a retail mass adoption wave coming in the next 6 months or so. The awareness of Bitcoin is significantly higher now than it was in 2017. And the technicals have paved the way for this market to move far and fast to the upside. So what happens to Bitcoin here? We break this consolidation pattern that we're in right now in the next week or two. We rally to $14,000. We sit up there for a little while, and then we're on our way to 20K within the next 12 months. If you guys would like some more of these kind of economic breakdowns, because I can go into a lot of detail on the actual state of the global economy, if you would like me to do that and then tie it back into Bitcoin. I love making these little videos like this. They're a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more thought out, a little bit more researched. I love making these. If you would like to see more of them, let me know. That is definitely something that we can work on. Guys, as you know, I am sick right now, and you might not be able to tell, but believe me, I can. Every word I speak is pain in my throat, but that is okay because we have to get these videos out. We're not missing any days, guys. I don't care how sick I get. I made a commitment the minute I realized I was sick. I am not missing a video. If I have to crawl up to my desk on all fours and then get on the mic and say, hey guys, and then the video just ends right there and we have to upload that, so be it. But we're not missing any days, and we're just not going to. And actually, I thought I'd feel a lot worse if I do actually have COVID. So we'll see. I took a test yesterday. I took it on Friday, and I'll be getting the results back for that relatively soon, hopefully. And I will let you know what happened. Anyway, guys, before we go, there is one thing I want to mention, and that is our Bybit referral link down below. If you want to help to support the channel and you are trading over there already, or even if you're not and you know what you're doing, I would recommend and ask you humbly to use our referral link. It does help out the channel when you do that, and I'd be very appreciative. Guys, we have a lot of growth going on behind the scenes, and we have a lot of things that we're going to be bringing you relatively soon, and I am so incredibly excited for it. I cannot wait. Guys, okay, so we're furnishing, this is completely off track, but the video's over anyway. We're furnishing the office, and my living room, actually it's not my living room, it's my den, is completely full to the brim with boxes. I'll take a picture and have Taylor put it up on screen. I have literally about 25 boxes sitting in my house with end tables and bean bags and desks and chairs, and I got our plaques in yesterday. I'm the boss lady, as you can see. Totally paid $25 for that. Worth it. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I would really very much appreciate it. It does help out the channel and getting us ranked in the algorithm so that we can continue growing here. But for now, though, guys, that is going to have to do it for today's video. But before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.